Alright guys, so here it is. This is the 95% complete RVF400, which I spoke about a couple of videos ago. And yeah, so straight away you can see got the white wheels done on the bike, got those powder coated, and new wheel bearings, and also, not sure if you can see it, but these stickers down here, the Honda RVF HRC stickers, which I got just from eBay, stuck those on as well, which I think gives a good finishing touch to the wheels, because I think they look a bit plain otherwise. So you would have seen in the last video I had all the fairings off, was cleaning the bike and basically just going over and tidying it up. I had the standard exhaust on then, so that's still the same, because I still have to go roadworthy at the moment, so that'll need to be on when it goes to the mechanics to be roadworthy certified. Ended up getting a new front screen, so just went with the clear one here. I did have two other screens which I've still got, which were tinted, but the first one was a standard fitment, which I've got here, which came with the bike, which is that one there. And then I bought this one, which is a double bubble tinted off of eBay. And to be honest, if you're in a situation where you're looking for a screen for your RVF, don't buy it from eBay, because it's just an absolute waste of money. None of these holes line up correctly. It's close, but it's just not quite. And then so you need to basically squeeze and fit these screens in if you want to fit within that front cowling, and it puts a lot of tension on the fairing, on the screen bolts around here, which I replaced all these, which is what the previous owner did, and that's why it cracked here and it broke the corner off here. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting those screens on eBay, even though it's enticing because they're only about 20 bucks. You're better off getting something from a more reputable brand. I got this one second hand from someone, but it is a Tiger screen, so Tiger Performance parts, which come from Thailand, and it fit perfectly. I was a little bit concerned that it might have been something else that was off with the bike which is causing those not to fit, but they were just crap screens, and if you invest in a proper screen, all the holes line up perfectly, and it's not an issue. So that's the new part. I did get some new mirrors. The ones that were on there before, I think the guy must have had some tape on it or something and ended up marking up the actual mirrors themselves. So these are just cheap eBay mirrors. They're nothing flash. Couldn't justify buying OEM ones because they're just ridiculous. So yeah, cheap eBay mirrors will do, and they look good enough and they do the job. So, but yeah, just to give you an idea, when I got these wheels powder coated, obviously I replaced all of these rim valves, and I said to the guys at the store, I said, oh, you know, I need new ones of those. I don't care if it's Honda or not. If they're stupidly priced, don't get them in. Well, they got them in anyway, and it ended up costing me 30 bucks for two of these rim valves, which if you didn't get it Honda brand, they should only cost about $2. So because this bike is getting on, you got to be careful. If you want original Honda parts, be willing to pay for it, because yeah, they're not cheap. A few other things I did is went over this heat shield here. It was starting to rust, so I just took a wire brush and I just took it back to the bare metal, which I believe is the original look of it, and I just put that back on. And I was polishing the engine up, which you can't even see now, and I spent hours on it, and I realise now how pointless it was, polishing up those engine covers on both sides, because they were oxidized like I had mentioned in the previous video. So those have been changed up. I chose not to, I didn't end up painting these top and bottom radiators, because, well, A, you can't see them really, B, it's actually OEM to have the bottom one black and the top one aluminium, so I want to keep that look. And also it's sort of contested as to whether or not painting radiators is a good idea, as to whether or not it affects the cooling of the fluid. So decided to save myself a headache there and just leave those the way they were. But I did come down here and I did take this grill off this inner cowling here, and I've painted that a lot black. So just really little things, I guess, that eventually come together and improve the overall appearance of the bike. So like I said, it's only 95% done. I've still got, it needs a new battery. So the guy I got it from said it's a new battery, but I don't think that's the case at all, because this one doesn't hold charge to save its life. It's got enough to turn the ignition on and get the headlights going and things, but not enough to crank it over. So I'm gonna have to invest into a new battery and investigate whether or not the rectifier needs to be replaced, which is only a $16 part anyway. So even if that is the case, not a big deal. Another thing I did too, replace all the coolant, flush the coolant, replace that. Same with all of the brake fluid, so front and rear was flushed, replaced. I was going to put in braided lines, but after inspecting these OEM ones, I'm really surprised how well they've held up over the years. So I'm leaving them. They look good. They've not degraded from what I can tell, and they're still operating. And like I said, I'm not really wanting to modify this bike too heavily, but we'll see how we go in the future as to how these hold up and whether or not I need that extra sort of bite with the brakes. But so I decided to leave those the way they are, and all the discs and brake pads are good to go. So that's probably it for now. I'll upload another video in probably a few weeks with updates. So next steps for this bike is take it to mechanics, get it roadworthied, and then get it registered, and then eventually do something about this, because as soon as I get this thing on the road, this will have to change. And yeah, so I look forward to getting this on the road, and I'll put out a first ride as soon as I get on the road, and then as I do changes to the bike with the new exhaust, I'll get some more rides going on it too. So yeah, stay tuned.